Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you're having a great start to your Friday. It is time once again for Yield Weekly Beauty Chit Chat, the video that I like to upload most Fridays here on my channel, where I share the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was loving over the course of the last week. Per usual, I have a roundup of some fun things that I was using and really enjoying this week. So as always, I will list and link all of those things in the description box right below this video. Feel free to reference that if you are interested. Check out other people's reviews, read about ingredient decks. I don't know if you want to buy these things, the information is always down there. So yeah, I hope you guys had a good week. Just a little check-in on how things are going with my perimenopause journey. So I feel like the medication that the doctor put me on is kind of starting to take effect just a little bit. Honestly, this, I would say last week, maybe even slightly longer, like week and a half, I feel like my brain has kind of slowed down a little bit. I feel like I have a little bit more patience, and more importantly, I feel like I have a little bit more mental clarity, which the brain fog has been the hardest thing for me. Brain fog makes it really hard to work, and that part of it was really exhausting for me because I was having to constantly redo projects, and it was just because I wasn't able to like focus, and having a little bit of that back has honestly made my life so much easier. So this is kind of a 6 to, I would say, 8-week trial that I'm doing with my current game plan that my doctor came up with. If you want to know all about this, I will link the video where I talk more in depth in the description box down below as well. But basically, I think the medication is starting to take effect a little bit. It's definitely not full effect yet. I do think that there's still continued room for improvement, but just feeling any better is just wonderful. I cannot tell you how happy it makes me to just have a little bit of a sense of like normalcy back. Just that little tiny bit makes the biggest difference. So don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but I feel like that is going really well. So just thought I'd do a little update on that. But other than that, things are going pretty okay on our end. You know, just life, work, just taking care of kid, all that stuff. It can, on top of everything else that's going on in the world, it's a little bit overwhelming, but you know what? We keep trucking through. So anyway, you guys, let's get into the video. Let me know what you were up to this week. Hopefully you had a good week as well. All right, we're gonna start with perfume because that is the one thing that I do as like a treat to myself every single day. For me, personal fragrance, either body sprays, perfumes, you know, stuff like that, really is a way for me to just do a little bit of self-care. For whatever reason, fragrance has always brightened my mood. I know there's a lot of people out there who are, you know, are not into fragrance the way that I am and think it's kind of absurd to wear perfume when you're not going anywhere. I do work from home, so I rarely leave the house unless there's errands to run or, you know, Stella and I are out doing things together. For the most part, like, I spend the bulk of my time here. Works for me. I have learned that minimizing my human contact at this point in my life is kind of a good thing for me personally. But anyway, I do like to still smell good. You know, when I get a whiff of my perfume during the middle of my workday, it lifts my mood. And anyway, so I am highly reliant on perfumes, and the two that I was mixing this week are these guys right here. Now they both have a vanilla component to them. This is Mancera Royal Vanilla, which is a very sweet, but also very kind of deep and seductive vanilla. If you've never tried this Mancera one, ooh, it's good. Also, Mancera fragrances last forever on the skin. I think these are some of the longest lasting perfumes that I have in my collection. I only have a couple so far, but Mancera is a fragrance house that I am looking to get deeper into. This was actually my second purchase. This is absolutely delightful. I cannot recommend it enough. But I really like pairing it with Clean Reserve Skin. So this is a floral musk. And what this does to this royal vanilla is it just kind of, it tones this vanilla down just a touch and adds a little bit more of that musky vibe, a little bit of a light, clean floral note as well. The only thing that I have a beef with this Clean Reserve fragrance, by the way, this was sent to me by the company, this I purchased myself, but I reviewed this fragrance in depth earlier this week. I will also link that video down below. But the one thing that is, I don't know if you saw that like splat that came out, but this is one of the things that always kind of annoys me about perfume bottles is if they don't have a nice mist or dispersal of the fragrance onto the skin. I think there's something faulty about this sprayer here because my other two Clean Reserve fragrances have that beautiful fine light mist to them. So that being said though, this is just a wonderful perfume to have in your collection. It's more of a skin type scent. On its own, it's really the type of fragrance that is more appropriate maybe in like an office type setting where you don't want to offend people, where you don't want to give people a headache. I could see this being a little bit headache inducing. It's quite a powerful fragrance, but pairing this with this gives me, oh, it's so pretty. Like it almost transforms this into something completely different. And this is what I love about mixing perfumes. If I am feeling or I'm just craving something new and I have this urge to just go out and spend money on perfume, a lot of times I can just go into my closet and start blending a few things together. Sometimes I come up with some gross combinations. Like, believe me, there's a few where I've been like, whoa, nope, absolutely not. And I have to go like wash that off. But a few times I've come up with some amazing combinations, and these two right here are fantastic. If you happen to have them both, try mixing them. If you're looking for a fun pairing, I think these two are wonderful. So two kind of very different scents, but they just work together. So, oh, I wish you guys could smell this. I smell like $1,000,000. I love it. All right, let's get going to some hair stuff, which is, you know, obviously the bangs were not behaving today, so back they went in this headband here. But one of the things that I've been relying on pretty heavily are volumizing sprays in the last couple of months because of the hair loss that I have experienced from my perimenopause symptoms. So there's a few that I really like. This is another one that I've really enjoyed that gives my hair a little bit more density, a little bit more oomph, if you will. Helps to increase the volume. This is the Philip B Weightless Volumizing Insta Thick Thickening Finishing Spray. This also smells like magnolia blossoms. Oh, it smells so good. This is really beautiful. Now, I actually did spray this in my hair today because I do also find that stuff like this kind of helps me get all of the hair up into my tiny, tiny little man bun up here. But yeah, it just kind of keeps the hair in place and just adds a lot more like density to it. My hair is so thin right now, you guys. It is just, ugh. When I look back on videos from even just a year ago, I remember thinking back then like, oh, my hair is so fine and thin. I had no clue what I was talking about back then. I had beautiful hair last year. It has really gone to crap in the last, I would say, like probably 6 months, just in terms of losing hair. But I know that I can get it back to where it was, and I will never again complain about my hair once I get it back to at least where it was, hopefully, fingers crossed. But anyway, in the meantime, stuff like this is kind of helping me out. By the way, Blow Pro is another option that I also really like for volumizing. I think I picked up something from Kenra as well that is a very similar type of product. I haven't brought that into the bathroom yet, but I'll update you guys on that. But that one right there is fantastic. Okay. Wanted to update on a few of these Bosley MD products. So I purchased these at Ulta several weeks ago. Bosley MD is cruelty-free. I was also looking at the Nioxin line as well. Unfortunately, Nioxin is not cruelty-free, so didn't pick up anything from there. but these guys are, and I really have found these to be easy to use. And you know, here's the thing, the way that I'm approaching my hair loss is that I am throwing the kitchen sink at it. There are several dermatologists here on YouTube that have actually recommended that approach. Dr. I believe Shireen, I think it's Shireen Idris. She recommends a kitchen sink approach to hair loss. So doing a lot of different things, using a lot of different products to kind of optimize your scalp health, encourage you know, blood flow to the scalp, which will help encourage growth. You know, so I'm using things like minoxidil. I'm also using products like this, which are just more like, I guess, over the counter type. Not that minoxidil isn't over the counter, I buy that at Costco, but you know, these have different types of ingredients that are not minoxidil, but I do think they help to increase the scalp health a lot. So this is the Bosley MD Follicle Energizer with biotin and caffeine. So this one is nice because you just take, you know, a couple of drops onto your fingertips, and then you just massage that into the scalp. I've been doing the minoxidil mostly in the morning and then following that with the Nutrafol. And then at night, I've been using either this or this. This one actually works quite well in the morning as well because it gives my hair a little bit of body. This one does not. This one I really enjoy at night. It has a little bit of a minty fragrance to it for sure, but doesn't make my hair greasy or oily, and it just makes that massage a little bit more enjoyable. So this product has been great, would definitely recommend checking it out. This is the Bosley Revive Thickening Treatment. So this one's interesting because you shake it up and then you apply it directly to your roots. So I don't pump this into my hand or anything. It's a little bit of a watery texture. So just apply it directly to the scalp and then again, work that into the scalp. I do feel like this one adds a little bit more body or oomph. It almost acts like a mousse, but it's not a mousse consistency. It's like a really watered down mousse. So be careful not to apply too much, but just a few pumps of this, like strategically placed, and then I can spread it out again with a scalp massage. This has been great. And like I said, in the morning, this one has DHT3 blockers in it. So yeah, I've just been enjoying both of these products. I feel like they've been doing some good for my scalp. And I've been bringing a lot of things further down onto my forehead here. One, I have a pretty expansive forehead, so it would be nice if my hairline would come down just a touch. I would love that. But what it's allowing me to see is that there is growth happening. So you won't be able to see it on camera because obviously my hair is gray and I have a lot of white that's coming in now. So my hair is getting lighter and lighter. It's getting, it's going away from that more like steel type gray to like that white gray. But I am seeing tiny baby hairs right here. I'm really focusing right here and right here especially to fill in this area, but I'm seeing the baby hairs. They're there. Ah, it's so exciting. So this stuff does work, you guys. It works. It's a lot. I don't think you have to do all of this stuff. If you are just the type who wants to do the minoxidil, I'm sure you'll see results from that. But I am doing minoxidil, I am doing scalp health products, I am doing red light therapy, almost every single day on my scalp specifically, and I think all of that combined is working. It's a lot of work, but at least it's working. So I don't know, if you are in the same boat as me, I guess the moral of my story here is do as much as you can. It seems to have a good effect on the hair. So all right, let's keep going. This is a newer PR item that I recently received from Paula's Choice. I love Paula's Choice, you guys. When they first noticed my channel a few years ago, I got so excited because if you've been with me for a while, you know I started my skincare journey many years ago now with Paula's Choice. Their products changed my skin, and I still reliably purchase all of my BHA from them because I just love their BHA products. I also love their niacinamide products, but this is their new Paula's Choice Barrier Repair Advanced Moisturizer. Now, this is really funny, but I don't know if you can see the back, but do you see how all the letters are kind of like coming off here? So this is why this is happening. I have been using this barrier repair cream every time that I am using my tretinoin. Sometimes I like to use my tretinoin a few days in a row. Sometimes I just like to spread it out, you know, about 3 times a week. When I spread it out, I never really have any issues with dryness or anything like that. But when I'm using it in a row and I don't use a good like barrier repair type cream, my skin does tend to want to go back to flaking. So, but using this has absolutely stopped that dead in its tracks. Like there's no flaking. I could probably use my tretinoin every single day if I wanted to in the evening and then just top it off with this. And I don't think that I would have an issue with like the flaking or the dryness. But I grabbed this right after putting the tretinoin on, and the tretinoin is causing the writing on the bottle to come off. So yeah, anyway, this has tetrapeptide 5 in it, as well as ceramides. Ceramides are incredibly soothing to the skin. I love peptides. I'm a huge fan of them. And I think that combining something like this with products that tend to maybe irritate the skin a little bit more, maybe it's AHAs that you're using that are irritating your skin, you can use something like this to kind of buffer that. You'll still get the effects of the AHA, but you just won't deal with a lot of those like negative side effects. So I have really enjoyed this and found it to be really effective in combination with my tretinoin. So if you too are a tret user and you're kind of struggling, especially this time of year as we turn on the heat inside the house and things kind of dry out even more, this would be something worth checking out. So definitely worth a look for the tretinoin users. Let's talk makeup. Okay, the Buxom mascara. I love this stuff. I actually mentioned this in my top 5 most underrated makeup products. I think I actually mentioned this last week as well. This is a great friggin' mascara, and it makes me sad that like more people don't use it. You can get a mini of this. In fact, down below, I will just link the mini, and honestly, I should have just bought the mini myself because that's the perfect amount of product for, you know, the 6 to 8 weeks that I typically will use a mascara for. I'm pretty strict with cycling through mascaras because they can definitely harbor bacteria. So yeah, eye infections are not a thing that I am interested in, so I do replace mascara pretty often. But this one here makes my lashes so just pretty and voluminous, but not clumpy or spider. Like you don't look like you have tarantula legs with this volumizing mascara. It's fabulous, and I feel like not enough people promote it. This is a great mascara, you guys. If you're in the market for a new one, try a mini of this, especially now if you want clumpy lashes, this is not going to be for you. This separates the lashes. I have a girlfriend, her name's Julie. She loves her some clumpy lashes. I always want to come at her with a lash comb. We joke about it. Like we totally know that we have different lash preferences, but yeah, this is not going to give you a spider lash look if that's what you prefer. I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of other mascaras out there for that, but this gives you that separated look. Also, I'm almost out of it, so I just have to share the love for it. This is my beloved Hourglass Veil Eye Primer. Listen, a lot of eye primers these days make my eyes water like nobody's business. I'm not sure what the ingredient is in some of these eye primers that make my eyes water, but a lot of them do at this point. The Veil does not. So if you have noticed an increase in watery eyes and you're using eye primers, you might want to think about switching your eye primer. This one is nice because it has a little bit of color to it, so it also helps to disguise a little bit of the redness on the lid. Now, who was it? Was it Denise? Someone mentioned I think it was Denise. There's an eye primer from the Ulta Beauty line, I guess, that supposedly works really well also. So I might try that. I believe that the Ulta Beauty stuff is cruelty-free. I'll double check that, but I might try that as well. But as for right now, I'm already planning on repurchasing this during the upcoming Sephora sale. By the way, I will hopefully have my suggestions video, as well as what I currently have in my cart, which by the way is way too much stuff. I need to edit my cart, but just thought I'd kind of show you guys what I have in there anyway, and then we'll see what I ultimately end up with. But this is absolutely coming home to me. Fabulous eye primer. If you've never tried it, it's worth the investment. Also, this lasted me forever. This is how many ounces? It's not even a full ounce. It's 0.32 fluid ounces, and it lasted me for, it was over a year, you guys. Like, you use such a small amount, this will last you forever. So good. Okay, eyeshadows this week. Natasha Denona and Kitten from Stila. So I have this single. I don't have a lot of Stila eyeshadows anymore. I used to really enjoy their formula, but I don't know, I feel like Stila is kind of one of those like dying brands. But Kitten will always be one of my favorite colors from them. This is just a beautiful like champagne. So I have really enjoyed putting this on my lid and then pairing it. Sorry, I have to wipe that off before I get it on my pink sweater. By the way, been getting some questions about these new sweaters that I've been wearing. They're from The Gap. I'll link them down below. They're fabulous. They're available in a lot of different colors and they're so comfortable. They're kind of a little bit oversized to begin with, but I always just buy like an extra large to make them super roomy and comfy for me, so love them. All right, but back to this, Natasha Denona. So I've been pairing Kitten with the Glam palette. This is just such a fabulous palette. I realize that this is not new or exciting, but if you're gonna pick up an eyeshadow palette and you're looking for something that is more cool or like neutral toned, this one is totally worth looking into. I love this palette. This and the new I Need a Nude palette, I think these are my two favorites. Like, these two together could really get me through most of my boring eye looks that I love so much for like all eternity. So, but I will say I still love my Viseart eyeshadows the most. I actually have purposely been trying to avoid using the Viseart for a little while just because that's my normal go-to, but anyway. All right, I'm almost done with this primer. I'm so excited to finish it up. I don't know that I will repurchase it because honestly, I have recently found another primer from Euphoria that works even better for my oily skin. But this airbrush primer, Vanish airbrush primer from Hourglass does work surprisingly well on my oily skin. What I will say for this is this fills in my pores a lot more and gives me a really smooth look to my skin. I think it does help to extend the wear of my makeup a little bit, but it doesn't extend the wear like as long as the Euphoria one does. But when I don't need my makeup to wear all day and I just want a really perfected skin look, I feel like this is the primer for that. So even if you have oily skin and you've been wondering about this, it does work. It does work for my oily skin. It just doesn't prolong the wear of my makeup significantly longer than if I didn't use this. But boy, does it give me almost poreless skin. And having a lot of pores, that's kind of exciting for me. So anyway, if you haven't tried this, it's lovely. And then my blushes this week were mostly Hourglass blushes. These were also mentioned in that video, that underrated makeup. In this palette, I'm mostly currently focusing on the Mood Exposure, which is this kind of plummy shade at the end here. This is available in a single. So yeah, I will list this single down below. It is so lovely, you guys. It's just absolutely beautiful. If you've never tried it, it's delightful. But if you have a deeper, darker skin tone, I don't think that's gonna be the one for you. Anyone who is in the fair to, I would say, medium, lighter olive end of the skin tone spectrum could probably use Mood Exposure. But they also have some deeper, more vibrant shades if you have a deeper, darker skin tone. So anyway, you guys, that is what I have for you today. Quite a bit. So let me know what you are loving this week in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys being here so much. I feel like I don't say it enough. Thank you for all of your kind words, your support, and just taking the time to watch my videos. I realize they are not the most highly produced, and a lot of times I'm not necessarily always only sharing new stuff. I'm sharing kind of boring stuff that I've been using for a long time. But yeah, we should all be using the boring stuff, right? Like the stuff that we bought like 2-3 years ago. We should probably be using that, using it up at this point and getting it out of the system. So anyway, join me in picking boring products, I guess. Anyway, I hope you guys have a really great weekend. There is some home fragrance content coming up for this weekend. If you're interested, stay tuned for that. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.